Hello, children of the night, and welcome to Tarot Nights with the Hanged Empress. Here we do shadow work following the moon, and we are moving through our Aries moon. Finally, some fire energy. Although I will not complain, this weirdo Aquarius sun has got us outside. Look at this. There's like not even that much snow out here. It's wild, but a win for us. We get to come outside and play, which is needed, which is necessary. I swear to the gobs. We found a different location because I just didn't want all of that water after the Pisces moon. Like, man, that was a watery Pisces moon, right? Four of Cups. So we found the one part of the creek that was not frozen over, and that is where we sit among the trees. All those spilled cups, let them wash away in the only part of this little creek that is still flowing right now. Ooh, that Cancer crab too, hanging out inside the cup. If I can get that for you. Yeah. Those cares. Like, oh, you cares, Karen. Nobody cares but you. Not Tom, not Jim. Not Salvatore. Nope. And that's okay, because sometimes all you really need is just to go out and sit by a tree, sit in some nature, and get that grounding in. We are still very much working with the root chakra, especially at this point in the season. It's important to move through those energies and find your homey Cancerian comfortability. Even in the harsh, uncomfortable winters. It's still cold, don't get me wrong. It's like, I don't know, 35 degrees or something like that. She's outside in a sweater. Yeah, a little chilly, but, you know. You know. We withstand. We go within. We go down and find that heat source that is inside of ourselves. Stop blocking the solar plexus with your heavy heart. We can't reach up towards the gods, not at this time. Reaching up is only going to cause a hernia. Reaching while we're in the time of contraction is no good. We don't do that. We don't want to if we can help it, right? No. It's time to go down. Way down, into the deep, into the depths. Follow the roots and the vines. Find the place where it's warm and we still hold our fire, Queen of Wands. Because from the ground we shall arise. Knight of Pentacles. From the ground, from the earth, we shall arise, we shall move forward, we shall carry on. Though the resources and comfortability has been spilt, has been lost in this lean part of the year, we don't give up our hope. We don't give up our internal abundance. Can I get you that? I'm like too far away from this camera, aren't I? We should move closer. We had to readjust. We were sitting in the sun. Straight in that sunlight. It was blinding. Okay. A little closer, a little less reach. Stop reaching so far. Right now is a time of contraction. Right now is a time of slow and steady pace and planned movement and action. Right now is a time to just stick with the plan, even if you get sidetracked, even if it doesn't work out exactly the way that you were hoping. Still get to your destination to do this thing, because it is your shield. It is your pentacle. It is your own abundance. And oh, look at that, even like that little secret bundle of wheat hanging out in his back. Like, no, we're prepared. We're prepared. We've got what we need to make it through this season. Pull us down a little bit. It's getting chilly. We've got just enough to get through this season. We've packed just enough. We're dressed just appropriately enough. I mean, perspective-wise, 2 weeks ago it was like -20 with the wind chill, so I'm looking at like an 80-degree difference in perspective here. So from going outside in that, this is practically balmy, right? Oh, hey, sup eagle. That is definitely an eagle. I just saw the eagle reflection in the sun, silhouette kind of thing. The judgment in this deck, but just flashed out. Yeah, the eagle soaring across the sun. Posture, QB, posture. No, we're not corseting out in the woods. We're not trying to pass out. But we still maintain that mentality and practice from what we remember. Page of Swords and the Hermit. Now is not the time to fight. Now is not the time to come out with your swords and guns ablazing. I'm sorry, blams ablazing. We'll work on that. We'll work on that. But anyways, yeah, now is the time to, again, retreat into self. Let's not express outwardly too much stuff at this time, because it's all still pretty raw, pretty frozen. You know, the ground's pretty hard. But we have, looking at the birds soaring, the dogs and the golden egg, and the comforting face of the moon. Finding that comfortability and that lightness in your heart space as well. All of these things are connected. A disruption in the energy in your heart chakra, in your feelings, in your emotions, the heaviness of that can pull on the weight, which blocks the energy flow from below to above. And that is why we need to turn away. Everybody is turning away. Everything is turned away. Because we're going inside. It is more important to fight the battles internally than it is to express outwardly at this time. What's going on out there is a war zone. It's like every time you step outside, it's a war zone. A cavalcade of crazy emotions and nonsensical things. I just need that rest, that break, that turn away. That like triggers my paranoia so much. The concept of closing one's eyes in the midst of chaos. But it is necessary to find that center. My priestess almost came out. Oh, if it's the chill in my fingers. Hey, there's Judgment. Eagle. How did that fall for you? Just perspective-wise. Reversed. But there's that soaring eagle over the sun. There's the golden egg. There's the face of death. And there's the innocence of child. the witness, the absorber, yeah, the receiver of nutrition, nutrients, and care. I feel like the world dropping out over this because I kept it upright, but it was reversed. What's beneath? The Ace of Wands and the Ten of Cups. These also came out reversed. We need to preserve the space for the children of the world, our own inner child. And we need to care and nurture and direct that child and really work on internal parenting. Whether you are an actual parent or not, you still have to parent yourself. We all have to parent ourselves at some point or another, and we have to give ourselves this direction and this safe place so that we know how to provide it for others, so that we can carry this out into the world and bring it to face. Because if that place on the inside where we are nurturing children or nurturing ourselves is not a safe space, then fighting about it, going to war over it over and over again isn't going to make it better. What we need to do is find that comfortability in that space. Find the comfort in the face of our emotions and give it grace, give it space, give it time and understanding. Give yourself that time and understanding so that you can better give it to others. And embrace the world anew when it's time, because it might not be time yet. Again, we're all still really turned away. We're still working on it. If we want to grow these vines into a protective covering, a protective home, then we have to take it to the root. Get down to the very foundations. Restore the arc, or restart the arc. The old spaces don't fit, or they've been burnt down, burnt up. It's not a good flavor in there. There's not good growth or production, and that is why we have to tear ourselves and our perspectives down sometimes in order to get back to that root space. And it's all a part of the cyclical part of life. Seven of Swords still up out there. Work in your manipulation. Yes, there is so much to be defensive towards. I told you I had some paranoia going on. I was like, but if you close your eyes, you're open to attack. That's when they get you. They wait until you're not prepared, when you don't have any defenses. The second you close your eyes, that's when they slip in there. That's when you get stuck in the gut. I tell you. But we have to give grace for this energy as well, because there are times and places where it is necessary to utilize it, and the discernment of when to be forthright, when to reveal, and when to seclude, when to attack and when not to attack. This is an art form. This is a practice. This is not something that anyone is ever going to be just the best at ever, but it is something to bring our awareness to in order to practice better and further. There is literally some tiny little life growing. There's two, so I'm going to take one and thank the earth for it, but I just wanted to show you. It's not even February yet. I told you, it's going to get very cold. Like, the moss is still green, it always is, but like, this is a new plant. This is new growth. Aha! Oh! Duh! Right? Okay, cool. See, we're on the page. We get it, right? We understand all of that stuff that's going on beneath. It's been like 2 weeks ago, -20, 80-degree difference, and the warmth from underneath was enough to stir the roots of this tiny little plant to cause it to come up. Is it too soon in the season? I think so, for this poor little thing. However, you can't stop nature. You can't stop growth. You can't stop progression. We're gonna keep on keeping on. No matter how many times you tear us down, we're going to rebuild those walls and create that safe space for ourselves, create that security and that comfortability. We should be served it. We are served it. A home is a space where you should be able to be your most authentic self and express your shadow. That doesn't mean that you're not accountable or responsible for how, where, when, and why that thing comes out. I was just thinking, like, about losing control. When you lose control, when you break loose of those chains, and you just let it all out and you let everyone have it, it can cause the path behind you to crumble and fall apart. And that could be a good thing or a bad thing, right? That destruction can be a good thing or a bad thing. I feel both sides of it right now, even though, like I said, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. It's not gonna be fun. But the breaking down of these old foundations, these old bricks, is necessary in order to push them together to make and grow and build new, stronger, more authentic, better foundations. Build your stage for you to act your character on, your authentic and ideal character, the person that you want to be. And that doesn't mean not being a bad person ever. We're all bad people. We need to give grace to that. We need to give room for that. We need to give space to it and understanding and love and care. All of this stuff, it's in here. And we have to work the heavy hardness of the soil that is our heart in order to till that garden and get it ready to grow again, to move forward, to progress. It's gonna be a little cutting. It's gonna be some sting. It's gonna be some sting in there. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rumbly and tumbly and all kinds of no good and fun, but we have to hold that internal balance. We have to hold that internal strength and fortitude. Hold your spine up straight. Carry your heart and all of its weight. Be accountable and responsible for the weight of your heart. And let that energy flow to where it needs to go. Let it move. If it needs to move down and nourish your roots, Let it move down if it needs to move up to give your brain more blood, more oxygen so it can function better and we can see better. We have to stabilize the center and grow and move. Everything is important. Paying attention to all of those things, spaces and places. I don't know if I have more for you or if I'm just playing around at this point because I'm having fun. We could be gallivanting right now. We could be jaunting through this magical forest. But we play. There she is. There's that high priestess. She's still facing away from us, but she's looking out. She's looking out into those clear skies. Okay, there's a few clouds, but it's still bright blue, gorgeous. They're not threatening. They're comforting because we're building that space. We're building that structure. Ooh, who is that? I built my bike on a rigid frame, so nothing bends. It only breaks into pieces and pieces. Who is that? I built my life like a bike on a rigid frame, so nothing bends, it only breaks into pieces and pieces. Starless? Crossfade. I think it's Crossfade. I don't know if it's Starless. We're gonna have to look that up. But I'm looking at the structure of this, and it's not an arch that she's sitting in. It's a more rigid frame, even though there is the delicate veil wrapped around it. That delicate veil is covering a very rigid frame. Okay, we're gonna have to get into some Crossfade. I haven't listened to Crossfade in forever, but we're gonna do that. We're gonna find that song and we're gonna post it up on here. Get you that. All right, fine. Happily ever after, end of the story. Here you go. 10 of Pentacles. There is the culmination of all of our hard work, the foundation, and that comfort and that security and that optimism and potential for growth. Again, growth isn't comfortable, but it can be done with love and care. Cutting back and cutting out and cutting the plants. It can be viewed as an act of violence and aggression. It can be done as an act of violence and aggression, or it can be done with love and care. Right? We took this little plant here. We could have done it in act of violence and anger. We could have taken out our frustrations with the world out on these plants. But we saw this and we said, oh, that's beautiful. I see there's some more. I'm going to pick this one and say thank you. Thank you for giving me this. Because this means everything to us right now. This is everything that we needed to hear. This is your message right here. Growth, change can happen anywhere, anytime. There are no set rules. We're the ones who try to make the rules. But when nothing bends, it only breaks into pieces and pieces. Having the flexibility of a young sprout. Good, clean optimism, and it comes from a horrible and painful shedding and release. So, thanks, kids. Good luck on your shadow work journey. We'll see you next time.